This week, Israel's Knesset narrowly advanced a bill to apply Israeli law to the occupied West Bank, an act widely seen as de facto annexation. The preliminary vote passed by just one vote, instantly sparking international outrage and a sharp rebuke from the United States. The bill, introduced by far-right opposition lawmakers, was not backed by Prime Minister Netanyahu's government. Its timing was provocative, coinciding with a high-profile visit from U.S. Vice President Vance, who was in Israel to reinforce a fragile ceasefire with Hamas and discuss Gaza's reconstruction. Most of the world views annexation as a violation of international law and a death knell for a future Palestinian state. While the bill faces long odds and more votes, its symbolism alone triggered a diplomatic crisis. The move was seen as a political maneuver to challenge the government and force a divisive debate. The vote disrupted sensitive U.S.-led diplomatic efforts and highlighted deep divisions within Israeli politics. The international community, especially Washington, saw the vote as a direct challenge to peace efforts, even as the bill's future remains uncertain. Its impact on U.S. Israel relations was immediate and severe. The U.S. response was swift and blunt. Vice President Vance, speaking in Tel Aviv, condemned the Knesset vote as a very stupid political stunt and expressed personal offense at its timing. He made it clear, the West Bank is not going to be annexed by Israel. That is our policy. Vance's remarks left no room for doubt, signaling deep frustration within the Trump administration. He called the vote symbolic but damaging, warning it created unnecessary friction during sensitive security cooperation. The public rebuke was rare in U.S. Israel relations, underscoring the seriousness of the moment. Vance's message was aimed at both Israeli lawmakers and the international community. The U.S. would not tolerate moves undermining peace. The administration's stance reaffirmed its commitment to preventing annexation and maintaining stability. The Israeli government was forced to respond, caught between domestic politics and its most important ally. The episode set a tense tone for the remainder of Vance's visit. The U.S. made clear that symbolic gestures could have real diplomatic consequences. In response to Vance's rebuke, Prime Minister Netanyahu's office quickly distanced itself from the vote, blaming the opposition for political provocation. The government emphasized it had not supported the bill and pledged to block any annexation efforts. Netanyahu's coalition, relying on far-right support, was put in a difficult position, balancing U.S. relations with internal pressures. The vote exposed deep rifts in Israeli politics over the West Bank. International condemnation was swift, with key Arab states and European countries denouncing the move. The U.S. position was echoed globally, isolating the bill's supporters. Palestinian officials welcomed the American stance, seeing it as a rare sign of hope for the two-state solution. The episode reinforced the international consensus against unilateral annexation. Israeli lawmakers who pushed the bill found themselves marginalized at home and abroad. The government's quick backtrack aimed to contain the fallout and reassure Washington. The West Bank, captured by Israel in 1967, is central to the Israeli-Palestinian conflict. Palestinians see it as the heart of their future state, while over 500,000 Israeli settlers live there in communities considered illegal by most of the world. The two-state solution, an independent Palestine alongside Israel, has long been the international framework for peace. Annexation is seen as a direct threat to this vision, effectively ending hopes for a viable Palestinian state. The U.S. and global community have consistently opposed unilateral moves, warning they would make peace impossible. Even without formal annexation, ongoing settlement expansion is eroding the prospects for separation and statehood. Critics argue that de facto annexation is already underway, making a negotiated solution harder each year. The Knesset vote was viewed as an attempt to legitimize this reality, prompting immediate backlash. The fate of the West Bank remains the core issue dividing Israelis, Palestinians, and the world. The symbolic vote underscored just how fragile the path to peace has become. The annexation drama has far-reaching consequences. The U.S. drew a clear red line, signaling that support for Israel has limits when peace is at stake. This stance is vital for American credibility as it leads efforts to rebuild Gaza and maintain Arab partnerships. For Netanyahu, the crisis highlighted the challenge of balancing right-wing demands with the need to preserve U.S. ties. The strong American response may deter future annexation pushes, but internal pressures remain. For Palestinians, U.S. opposition to annexation offers some reassurance, though it changes little on the ground. The incident reinforced the need for negotiated solutions, not unilateral actions. It showed how a single vote can threaten regional stability and derail diplomacy. The core issues, West Bank's future, two-state solution, lasting peace, remain unresolved. Progress will require restraint, diplomacy, and a renewed commitment to dialogue from all sides.